And I noticed here on the list with the different sponsors for today. So Zettervalls is our law firm by choice at the company. We have Nasdaq, where we're listed at the First North, and we have Nordnet, which is the biggest buy platform for the Safeture share, but also Deloitte. And Deloitte, I actually won that competition. Remember when she was talking about the Fast 50? I won the Fast 500 in Europe. For my last company, growing my company 23,000%, and sold it just a couple of years ago. And then I sat down with my mentor, and I said I was really, really fed up with that industry I was in. So he told me, well, Magnus, you're not a startup anymore. You're a grown-up. You should go and see to start working for a listed company. And that's when the chairman of the board found me and introduced me to a company back then called Global Warning System. And I had a look at it, and I was immediately thrilled to start working with it. The problem was that first I needed to change the name because of Greta Thunberg. Everybody called us Global Warming System. So we changed the name to Safeture, which stands for Safer Future. And that's what I'm going to present here today. So I'm Magnus Holtman, the CEO of the company since 3 years back. My chairman of the board is Flemming Breinholt. He was previously the CEO of Karnov Group, so also a man who has worked very much with software as a service, just like me. We are 35 people working in 4 different countries where we operate in. We have our headquarters in Lund, Sweden. Lund, as you know, is a fantastic hub when it comes to talent. And in Lund, you also have 71 listed companies. Guess how many of them are profitable? 9. So 9 out of 71 companies of the listed companies in Lund is profitable. Unfortunately, we're not one of those profitable, but I will show you a very clear path to profitability, and that we're pretty close to it. We work with more than 4,000 enterprise companies and organizations throughout the world. We have users in pretty much every single country on the planet. So what do? Well, we have a risk management platform that we work primarily with assistance providers, security assistants and medical assistants to facilitate all of their operational processes in order to help them serve their clients. So that's the guys we build this platform for. This is a customer of ours called Xlog. They are a US-based security company working with some amazing customers. And this is their situation room, their security operations center, where they monitor the operations of all of their customers, where they have their offices and factories and stores, where their people are based, what risks that might be facing them in order to mitigate risk and be proactive if risk happens, which correlates pretty well with the theme of today and Naventus. So I can talk a lot about how you build a platform to help out solving the needs of mass communication, information, and positioning throughout the world. To be able to locate a person in the middle of Congo or at Stureplan here in Stockholm, it's a technology platform that took quite a lot of time to build. We started the company, founded the company in 2009, and it was not up until 5-6 past years that we have really managed to grow it significantly. My part in this was to take an IT company, a company that believed they were an IT company, to understand that they were a SaaS company. To understand you do not sell projects to customers, you sell products. To have 100% recurring revenue in the company is super important. It is what we will be able to scale. Because if you sell projects, you're just selling hours. You're selling people. You're selling those projects, and then you can start a consultancy company, and anybody could do that. So instead, I will show you a video about how the platform and how it works, and maybe that will clarify it all for you. So here we go.
Safeture, the world's leading employee safety platform. Safeture is a cloud-based service for communication, information, and location.
Scale to fit, please.
At Safeture, we make sure you get the right information at the right time to the right people. All you need for managing risk, safety, and crisis processes for everyone, no matter where they are.
Just calling out to the technology team down there. Scale to fit, please. Otherwise, you won't see it all, right? I have nothing to hide, I promise, but you will add another minute on my presentation, right? Thank you. Okay, let's give that a minute. So Naventus is my first time presenting here, so it's a new acquaintance to me. And I started this morning actually at Aktiespararna, because today they have Stora Aktiedagen. And I can say that this was held at Hotel Birger Jarl, and this is better, quite much better, I must say. Okay, running. The technology worked at Hotel Birger Jarl, though. And it is a technology summit, so it should work, right? Perfect, thank you.
Welcome to Safeture, the world's leading
And volume
employee
up.
safety platform. Safeture is a cloud-based service for communication, information, and location.
Volume.
At Safeture, we make sure you get the right information at the right time to the right people. All you need for managing risk, safety, and crisis processes for everyone, no matter where they are. It's all about employee safety for all employees. Safeture's advanced web portal has everything administrators need to locate, communicate critical information, and assist employees in case of an incident. Safeture makes it easy to communicate and inform all your employees and to know where they are. Meet Hannah, an employee based in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A major strike has broken out and creates disturbances nearby. This triggers an automatic Safeture alert that notifies her of what happens and if it could affect her, together with security advice. On the other side, the security team at Hannah's company also get the same information. With the click of a button, they can send her a check-in request, see her exact location, guide her to safety, or send for help. With the Safeture mobile app, Hannah can instantly respond that she is safe or activate an SOS for help. Safeture has warned that there is a typhoon closing in on the Guangzhou, China, near one of your facilities. By using Safeture unique facility management tool, you can quickly identify and communicate with all employees close by the facility. Using the built-in check-in request and instant mass communication tools, you can send customized alerts to confirm the safety of all your employees close by. And with the Safeture's multi-channel communication, you can communicate crucial information and local updates, regardless of internet connection. A critical situation has occurred at a factory that requires a last-minute trip to Europe. Within the app and the web portal, you have, with a click of a button, access to real-time security and travel information for your destination. Everything to make it easier planning your upcoming travel. The easy-to-use Safeture app provides instant two-way communication, SOS button, check-in feature, real-time safety, and travel alerts. Comprehensive medical information and an advanced e-learning system to keep employees up to date on safety and travel protocols. all supported in multiple languages. With Safeture communication tools and customizable content, you make sure that your employees only get relevant information at the right time. As a manager, you can save a great amount of time by using the Safeture Analytics module. When accessing analytics, you get a unified view of all relevant data to help you make smarter business decisions. Safeture's open platform enables widespread integrations. Everything from third-party content providers, HR databases, travel management companies, to medical and security assistance. All of this comes with Safeture commitment to the highest level of data security. Getting started with Safeture is fast and easy. Let us show you the best way to protect what matters the most, your employees.
Pretty easy, right? It's always easier with video. But the founder of the company, Lars Lidgren, professor of medicine at Lund University, he was actually sent to China during the SARS epidemic. And it's quite ironic because he was sent there by HWO and he was there to assess the situation. And he understood that this will be a major catastrophe. If you don't know where people are, if you're not able to communicate with people based on their position and have the right and correct information. So he wanted to improve the world by building this global warning system. And he has deep pockets, but not that deep. So today we are entirely focused on a partner positioning. It's our strategy to be the default choice as a process platform for different types of security companies, risk management companies, and medical assistance companies. And here's a few of them. So what we do for them is serving when there is an actual incident. Let's say you are a global company and you have these types of partners helping you when there is a situation. The security manager of the company interacts with the security providers and making sure that all the employees are safe. Today we have around 40 million SEK in revenue from these thousands of different companies. We have 1 million users on the platform, registered users on the platform. And the market is very, very big. Just those who are being served by different types of assistance companies is a 1 billion SEK market. And now we're only talking about those who are being served, the target market. The total addressable market is a lot bigger because there is a big need. Since we see that employees today is a bigger share of a balance sheet than ever. 20, 30 years ago, people on a company's balance sheet was only 20-30%. Today it's 70%. At Google it's 99%. Employees is absolute most important resource at a company. And there is a duty of care for the employer to take care of the employees. And that's where we come in as that people risk management platform. So what do we solve for our partners? Well, take Falk Global Assistance, the second biggest medical assistance provider here in Europe, headquarters in Copenhagen. They got a tender request from the European Central Bank. And it's one thing that they will be there to assist in, for evacuations or medical issues, etc. But having a service offering, you also need a technology offering. And the share of technology as a share of the total service offering is just ever increasing. It's like Deloitte. I mean, Deloitte, they don't develop their own accounting system, right? They have a Fortnox. It's the same thing here. They contacted us and understood that they need technology help in order to improve quality, know the cost, and be ahead of the game. So we went into that tender process with the European Central Bank, and that's a financial institution. So the data policy was just massive. And on top of that, it's part of the European Union, one of the institutions in the European Union. So just the procurement process was insane. And we won it. And we not only won the European Central Bank, it's every single central bank across Europe. That means that in our databases, we know the whereabouts of Christine Lagarde. Well, I will not hand that out, and that's why our customers, they do their own penetration tests of our systems. The Swedish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we also have as a customer. Imagine how many Russian hacker attacks you have against a system that holds that type of data in place. Because it is when it really, really matters we get proven to test. So already before the Russians went over the border to Ukraine, that was the 24th of February, we had the data. We started feeding the data to those who had operations there. It is one of the biggest production countries for Ikea, for example, which is another customer. So we told them that this is happening on the borders, and that was being communicated out to all those that were in that position, since we communicate based on position. So they had that information, so they were ready. And when they went over the border, we could immediately start doing the evacuations, being ahead of the game, putting the drop points, making sure the people got directed, get the flights in, get the armored personnel in, taking out the people, even whole factories was evacuated from Ukraine and set up other places, making sure that all the production would be up and running globally. So a live case, read more about it at our webpage. It's quite interesting. In all the cases we've been in, it's quite fascinating, I must say. So why the partner positioning? Well, that was one of my conclusions. I mean, I love being out selling. I really, really love it. But if someone can do it for me, it's even better, right? So having the partners, we already have all those relationships with different types of customers in place. It makes much more sense to have them love us, because then they can tell the customers that they need to love us as well. So we shorten the lead times, we increase the deal sizes, and we get scalability in our organization. And remember where I'm from. It's all about scalability, and this is a very good way of scaling the product offering and the sales offering in the market. And we also see that it takes up most of the revenue growth that we have. It comes from partners. Insurance is big. We have a couple of the biggest insurance companies in the world. For example, Chubb as customers, but they don't pay well enough, I must say. So I rather prefer this. So financials, of course. I guess that's what you're here for. We have put up 3 very clear financial targets. We're going to grow at least 30% year on year. I think that is very realistic. We have done it for the past couple of years. Actually, 150% growth in revenue for the past 3 years since I went on board. And super proud of that. We will continue to improve our gross margins. I mean, if you are a technology company, you can have really, really high gross margins. We have 74%, I think it is, at today, and we're going to continuously improve them up until 80%. We have quite a lot of costs for running the system because of the sensitivity of the data, of all the SMSs that we send out, etc., etc. But still, we will continuously improve our gross margins. And of course, we also see that profitability is just around the corner. So the classics. As mentioned, how we have grown the operations of the business, decreasing our revenue, and at the same time more than doubling the team size. Because there was a lot of things that needed to be done in order to start scaling the business. But now over to something much more interesting. And that's the software as a service, metrics. Because it is different type of methodology when you're looking into a SaaS company. Remember, those 40 million that I have in recurring revenue that I've already bagged, that's what I'm going to start next year with, and everything else will be added on top of that. And when you also give your customers 3-year agreements and ask them to pay annually upfront, that's nice for business. So the last quarter, we actually had 100% of our revenue being recurring revenue. That is a tough. You need to make a lot of decisions. You need to say no to some customers. But it is important in order to scale. Dependencies. We do not have any single dependency when it comes to markets. Sweden is our 4th biggest or 3rd biggest market. Germany is the biggest, followed by the UK. Most interestingly is that the US was non-existing 2 years ago. And now they account for 12%. And we see a fantastic opportunity over there in the world's most mature security market. Further into the SaaS metrics, the churn. 8%, that was a tough one. That was pretty much when I started, but that was when COVID hit. And we had customers that went bankrupt. So we needed to take that out. But after that, we had around 1% churn or below 1% churn. So imagine having 40 million in recurring revenue with 1% churn, you can and 74% gross margin. You can easily put a more correct value on the share price. The gross margin, when it comes to the customer acquisition cost, we surpassed 100% here last year, and that was important. Another proof that we can scale the operations. And finally, the net revenue retention. We were the first company on Nasdaq to present NRR as part of our information to the markets. And it's a fantastic metric because it is minus the churn and plus the upsell that you can do on top of the existing accounts for the upsell you do on your customers. So, and there is a quote from Salesforce and the CEO and founder of Salesforce, where he said that the initial agreement for their customers, it accounts for 5% of the lifetime value of the customer that they get on board. And that is true for most SaaS companies. The biggest share of the value you create with the customers comes in after you have gotten them on board. So the potential in adding more users, adding more admins, adding more modules, getting them sticky to it. So a fantastic metric when you do your valuation of SaaS companies. Improving the gross margins as mentioned. So, because it's about that fantastic co-worker that you have, traveling all over the world, doing the business necessary, and making sure that someone is looking after her, being there as a protective shield. And that is what Safeture does. People, risk management. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Magnus. Sorry about the film hiccup here. So, competitors, major competitors, and what makes you stand out?
I would say that it's in-house technology. So there are some fantastic assistance companies out there. One I really admire is a company called International SOS. It's a French company which have super exclusive services when it comes to taking care of people. And they have built their own tech stack. It costs them so much money. They're always late to the game. They're always looking at technology as something on their cost side. But we see it as investments bringing in revenue. So it's a completely different mindset when you try to do it in-house. And the general trend is that you shouldn't do in-house technology as a service provider. So, but that is a competitor because it comes with a bundled offering. They have the service and the assistance offering with technology. And that is hard. It is.
So in 5 years, where are you then?
Well, we will be quite much bigger than we are now. We believe that there are some trends out there in the market. Everybody's talking about risk, business continuity, and how important the people of your organization is. We also see some legislation actually around the corner post-COVID. So for example, today you have rules on fire safety in a building. But just around the corner, there will be rules when it comes to how to quarantine your employees in case of the next COVID that comes out, or how to locate your employees if there is an emergency. And can I give you an example there? My former company, we had an office over here at Kungsgatan. And 5 years ago, we had this terrorism attack on Drottninggatan. And I had 8 people at that office. And I could locate 6 of them, but I was missing 2. And the whole day I was missing them, and this was on a Friday. I didn't get hold of them. Not until the evening and next day I was able to locate that they were working from home and they were out with a customer. But imagine that, having responsibility as a company, not knowing where employees are, especially in these days where everybody's all over the place.
Well, thank you for a very interesting presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.